It's going to be Prime versus MVP Losira versus Creator to decide, will Prime get their first win of round 3, or will MVP win the bonus round just barely?
Yeah, that's basically it, man. That's what this comes down to. For MVP, this match is so much more important. Prime, they're not going to the playoffs, but this is for pride. Actually, this game isn't even about Prime. This game is about Creator.
Pretty much. It's Creator and Friends, the new name of Prime. We've deemed it necessary to change it up here because no one else on Prime seems to make it work except Boom Boom in that last game against Creator somehow.
Yeah.
Able to pull it through. Creator able to get that PvP that he wanted, gets his own win.
All right, prediction-wise, only the Monday caster votes for Creator, but he was also the only one to vote for Boom Boom. And Boom Boom found success in that last game.
Kind of crazy to think about. Will he be correct once again? Or will the rest of us? I think going with the safe pick here. I mean, Losira, pretty strong against Protoss, but more so Creator not strong against Zerg. Very weak to Zerg. It's also a Zerg-favored map here on Expedition Lost. Losira took a pretty convincing win there against Terran, against Keen earlier on in the day.
Well, let's see if Creator can shift gears into another matchup entirely. A matchup which he's struggled with for a very, very long time in general. It's been considered since the start of Heart of the Storm to be his worst matchup, and many to consider it to be the downfall of his career, as he was in the very first Code S of Heart of the Swarm and was never able to really get back to form since then. He's had a hard time in late game PvZ. We'll see if he's fixed that. See if he can beat out Losira, who's very aggressive. Might even be aggressive enough to take one of these gold bases early on or try to kill that ice.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting game here. We could see some crazy strategies coming out here. I'm not sure if these guys were prepared to go into the ace match. I really don't know, but let's see how it's going to turn out. It's going to be Losira versus Creator on Expedition Lost right now. Up here in the top right, in the teal for MVP, the Zerg player, it is Losira.
And over here, the bottom left, in purple for Prime, it's Creator and Friends.
You said Prime first, and then you said Creator and Friends?
Yeah.
Nice,
otherwise, if I said Creator and Friends at first, I'd be like, no, I can't. Can't say
wow, Creator actually gets the small edge here against Losira.
Losira really messed up his first drone. He was very late on that. I thought that's what you were talking about. But yeah, you were talking about the fan boat.
Yeah.
I was like watching that really closely because for a second I was like, no way, he's 6 pools here, and then it was just a really late first drone. He kind of messed that up. So yeah, sorry, I was looking at my monitor and not actually what's on screen for a second there.
It's all good. So pylon at the bottom looks like it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand. Could be a Nexus first, I suppose, into Gateway if he wants to be super greedy here.
Yeah, since he's not sending a probe scout out, I'm guessing that's what we're going to end up seeing. That's like a delayed cannon, which would be pretty crazy. There's that ice. Be careful about that.
Yeah.
We did see the ice utilized in our Zerg versus Zerg earlier on. Unfortunately, even though it was broken down, we never really saw Lings coming to finish off that lair that we saw get quite low. Fun game, fun ZVZ nonetheless. All right, we're going to see Nexus first, as you predicted, versus the Hatch first. Greedy 2 extra drones. And a gas before pool.
And let's see how greedy Creator goes too. Does he make that gateway here? Because he hasn't scouted anything. Forge, I think, is the safe pick, and he goes for it.
That's Creator for you. A master of forges. Loving his 2 forge upgrades in PvT before anyone was really doing that.
Well, gonna have a bit of time before these guys really get their economy together. Probe gonna go for a bit of a later scout. just see what's what here at the base of Losira. We'll see the hats first and say, oh, okay. You know, went pretty standard here.
Yep, Probe's going to check the third base. He's going to lurk around there for a second. Just, oh, okay, just greedy hatch. Then come over here, see no lings yet, and go, okay. Later pool as well. Also going to be able to check the gas. Starts to figure out what's going on. He's just got a little bit more time, a little bit more flexibility with his probe.
Yeah. Want to point one thing out. Losira looking extremely focused once again. In the pregame chat, he doesn't even talk to his opponent. All he says is go. He doesn't say GG, good luck, have fun. He doesn't say any of that. He just says go.
Yeah. Just that word, lowercase, not wasting any time.
It's always so funny when I see that.
This is how he is. He gets in, he gets out. He's going to do his job, and he's going to do it well. So, as the gate finishes, we will see the core added. And after that, we'll be able to finally see what sort of tech, what sort of plan Creator is going with. Meanwhile, we see 3 in gas still for Losira. No third base, and a Roach Warren in 5 minutes.
Could see a bit of an aggressive attack here from Losira, I suppose. He doesn't really get to work on those back rocks just yet, on the ice, rather, with his 2 lanes. So maybe just a frontal attack here. He could have used that back ice if he wants to.
Look at how he's positioned his units on the map. He's got an Overlord, and he's got the Watchtower. He's got a second Overlord to check the only other path Creator could probe scout his third base with. And so he knows that Creator doesn't know that he hasn't taken a third. So at this point, Creator's going to go and check, but he hadn't checked yet. He's going to check the gold base first.
Going to see nothing over here. May decide to put down a pylon. No, not going to go for it.
Ooh, you might actually do an Immortal push or something with that Robo coming up, which I would never expect from Creator. Okay, now he's been scouted with that Overlord, but there's nothing to deny the scout on this base. So he's going to see, oh, no third.
And look at the amount of drones. There are 23 drones out on the map. This is a very all-in push here from Losira. He wants to do damage. He's trying to hide the roaches for now, but I think Creator might get a little bit suspicious.
Of
He's
course.
like, okay, no third base.
Ling
What's going on
speed,
here?
no lings, Overlords in weird positions, and he has no idea about like exactly what type of push it is, but he knows a push is coming. He's adding an Immortal. He has a second cannon up at home.
Yeah.
And how many sentries does he have? He's got 2 sentries. He's going to need more than that.
That's all he's got. He's got to force field that ramp and just hope to hold on here. There are 2 pylons powering those 2 cannons, and if he can delay here for a bit, could be a nice hold. He does scout that there is no third base, so he should know this by now.
All right,
here we go.
He needs to cut this army in half, and that's exactly what he does, but Lings get inside. Oh, boy, Creator. Uh-oh. This is a big problem. And now that first cannon will go down. The Immortal, though, is going to be helpful. If he can actually keep this wall up, and then Immortal can just sit back there and do damage. Oh, that's exactly
he misses the force field.
That's exactly what he does not need to do. And now he's going to lose the Immortal. 2 missed force fields, and that may just cost Creator this game.
Loses the 2 early sentries, but box force fields. Loses the rest of his units and all of his buildings with box force fields. And now everything is up the ramp. He's
Cannons
got no wall.
down.
Sentry is there. It's only 1. It's not enough. Everything's in his main.
He's going to unpower this pylon, and then he's going to kill the Immortal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, should end Creator's run today. Yeah. Probes falling 1 by 1. 2 missed force fields. He was ready. He knew it was coming, but he still couldn't hit the force field. GG.
Losira knew what to do against Creator. Knew he was very, very weak against those kinds of early timings. Just kind of panics at times like that. He had 2 sentries he could have held on, force field off the small gap there in the wall, but he does it slightly too late. The Xerxes getting kill all of the sentries, and then you're just so far behind his brothers. He was desperately trying to Chrono Boost out another sentry. He gets it, but then he misses that force field too.
He also didn't make a pylon wall or a gateway wall or just any sort of structural wall there. Had he been able to do that, it would have probably bought him enough time with those morphing in cannons to hold those slings off, have the Immortal at the back, doing that extra damage to the roaches. He didn't do any of that. He just fell apart. Like, I watched someone walk up and pull one of the cards out of the house of cards that was Creator, and he fell to the floor.
Pretty much.
Losira was like a wrecking ball that swung into a pane of glass. Shattered it.
Yeah. Creator continues his loss streak here against
Non-PvPs, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially against Zerg.
And Creator and Friends will fall today. Once again, goes down to 0-5. They just cannot seem to find any success at all. It was looking good. You know, they get Boom Boom to play a great game there against Center to force that ace match, get Creator to play another game, but they had the perfect sniper pick there in the ace match on Expedition Lost. Just everything seemed to work out there at the end of the day for MVP.
Well, unfortunately for MVP, in a sense, they probably wanted more. They do continue their win streak here. Very impressive wins back-to-back, beating CJ and then Spenu. And now a win against Prime. They would have hoped to get more indicator points against Prime, but a win is a win, and that will put them closer to possibly getting into those playoffs.
That's true. Right now, MVP is 3-2 with a 0 indicator. So they will be right under KT. In fact, actually, Spenu won today as well. So
there you go.
Yep.
So in fourth place currently with that penalty, Keen typed GG in Korean. I believe that was Keen that typed it. Center, sorry.
Center.
Keen's no longer on MVP. He was, but no longer.
Yeah.
And anyway, at this point in time, things are starting to finally push out of that tie. We no longer have those 2-2s. The entirety of these matches have been played.
The big surprise here is that CJ Anderson and Jenner are in 5th and 6th place behind MVP and Spenu. That's just not the way it's supposed to be. If you look at the winners ranking right now, CJ, Jenner, CJ, and then you go down and you get another Jenner player there. Yeah. And Spenu's got no one up here. MVP's got Losira.
It's been a bit of a weird round. Spenu coming in as kind of like a wild card, though, and they're doing really, really well. Hero does advance into his own first place, knocking Maro, Biel, and Life down to second with their lack of wins today.
Yeah.